I learned that, at least for me, what was a great way to understand of how to deal with all of those thoughts and those emotions is a lot about choosing your thoughts. You know, instead of choosing to think, I'm ugly, I'm worthless, I'm not attractive, I am, you know, I would choose to say, I am beautiful, I am gorgeous, I am this, I am that, and I had to teach myself, run with those affirmations every day. The process of getting over these terrible thoughts and getting over that, it's a lot like soaking a greased pan. And I read this in the Louise Hay collection. And it's like when you have a really nasty old pan that you like just cook some chicken in or whatever, and it's real greasy, and you have to soak it. And you can't just scrape it off the surface. You have to really soak it in some warm, soapy water. And the process is like letting go of all that stuff bubbling out and just letting it soak and bring it all full force and just letting it go and just letting it soak. So the process was very much like that, because even when I was, you know, working on bettering myself, I would really have really, really dark days. They weren't suicidal days. It was just knowing that I had to get through this to like get to the goodness, to get to my clean pan, you know, and that was an interesting process for me. And letting go of what, you know, I think people expect of me. The truth of the matter is, no one gives a fuck about your life, really. No one cares what you're doing. It's all about how you feel. It has to come from within.
Wow.
And I had to understand that and not live by some expectations that I have to be a certain way or I have to look a certain way in order to feel like I was worthy. So yes, so I dealt with that, and it was so great working with my counselor, Julie. She was amazing. And it wasn't until I was able to experience all that and to really get through it was when I felt like I kind of knew what to do next in my life.
Yeah.
And literally on the last day, it ended, and I was just like, gosh, I was feeling real hype. And the last thing that she said, she was like, now it's time to go create your vision and to go bring it to life. And so I emailed a former boss that I had. I interned at this place, at this PR agency, and for a couple weeks, and I moved on to another internship. Just different situations going on. And I emailed her and I said, you know, I really want to get involved, see if there's any internships available. That's all I wanted. I just wanted to get back into, you know, get back into PR, get back into working. I was ready to work. You know, I was able to deal with all that stuff in order to become able to do what I wanted to do. And the week of my meeting, she said, yeah, come down. Just a couple days before our meeting, one of her publicists quit. So I actually was hired on as a full-time publicist, which was crazy because I just was trying to become an intern.
Yeah.
And not thinking I was ready to jump full force, and apparently I was.
Yeah.
So it's just really kind of an example of like when you're doing good and you're, you know, self-care and all that stuff is so important, because sometimes in your life you'll have some really dark patches, and once you're able to deal with that and face it head on, that's when you're able to move on. And you can't move on fully if you're still carrying that baggage around with you. You gotta soak that pan, girl. Clean your pan.
Yes, yes. Oh my gosh, you said two things that really stood out to me. And the first one was that no one gave a crap.
Yeah.
That's really hard to chew.
And it's also liberating because it's like, you know, this is your life. And I've always been the like, I don't give a fuck kind of person. I've lived a very open...
I don't give a fuck life.
Yeah, like I'm a very like open, don't care what you think kind of a thing. And all my problems of like what I was thinking other people were thinking was actually what I thought about myself. I was placing how I felt. I felt ugly. I was telling myself I was worthless. So I saw in other people that they thought I was that way too. When in reality, it was just my feelings that I was placing upon other people in order to externalize it, to feel like, no, this isn't me. This is everyone else. See, everyone's telling me that I'm this, and really, it was my own feelings. And another thing is, because I felt that way, I was bringing people in that agreed or that would, you know, really affirm that for me. So when you're telling yourself, I'm shitty, I'm just such an ugly person, negative people come around your life. to make you feel that way, that that's true. And once I was able to let go of that, I realized that that stopped happening. Well, yeah, because you feel like you're ugly. People can see that. Like, people can see that you're not happy. People can see, and you're not drawing in any positive energy by being negative. So once I was able to be, you know, open and to feel, you know, that love for myself again, that's when I was able to draw in that other positive energy, those great people who were able to feel that with me.
And I also find it really interesting that you're going through that after graduation, because I also went through it after graduation. It was 2 years, you know. What do you think that says about that time in our lives?
Well, you know, the thing is, I mean, it's like you are literally in school from, you know, kindergarten to, you know, 12th grade, and then you do 4 years of college.
If you choose to.
If you choose to. You know, whatever.
I did 5.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whatever. You know, but you know, you're in school for so long, and I'm a very busybody person. I like to you know, take on projects and do all these things, and so I was really immersed in that. And once it was gone, I didn't really know where to go from there, and I didn't feel ready for a job. I hadn't really dealt with myself in a long time because I was more, you know, I was working. I was dealing with school. I was really focused on my career.
Yeah.
And so when that is gone, and when like you have that freedom of like, oh, I don't got to be at class now, I don't have these organizations that I'm part of, it's like all that shit kind of comes to you, and you like, again, like alone with your thoughts of like, oh God, now I have to deal with this.
Yeah.
You know when you're not ready. That's why I didn't get a job right out of college. I knew I wasn't ready. I knew there was stuff I had to deal with, and it's crazy that like once like literally the day that I felt better and that I felt good and that I was happy with who I was and I was able to find that love for myself again, that's when I got a job.